Hello, my name is Rhoden, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Since the time I was a little kid, I've always been enamored, fascinated with professional wrestling. It's not easy when you're in your early 30s and you tell people that your childhood dream or lifelong childhood, however you want to look at it, the ultimate goal in life, your number one thing, if you could really do it, is going to be a professional wrestler. Constantly mocked. People laugh or make jokes. Some people, they give you the false security. Hey, false motivation. Good job. In one ear, out the other. But no matter what, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And since the time I was just a little boy, 2 years old, as far back as I remember in diapers, I have wanted to be a professional wrestler. Now, when I say professional wrestler, got it, pinnacle of the sport, WWE, TNA, the big names that are known. But at the end of the day, if I could actually go to the school, become a professional wrestler, and I'm just making a comfortable living, I'm happy. I don't need to be rich. I don't need fame. There's a type of magic, especially for little kids. When I'm at the beach or I'm doing something and I see kids and, they see me, and they'll ask me to say, are you a wrestler? Are you a professional wrestler? And it gives me a huge grin, that I at least have the look, even though I'm not there yet. And, I tell them no, and we talk, and they always want to shake my hand, get a picture, play around, whatever, especially for the little ones that find out I'm a soldier in the military, because I meet little ones all the time, and that's what they want, to be whenever they get older and grow up and say that. So what I'm going to do, I got a few index cards here, and I made a few points for anyone out there who sees this. When the time comes and I retire from the military, I have 12 years of service right now, I'm going to go to school. I've been setting things up, getting my ducks in a row. It's going to be one of those things where it's a later stage in life. But at the end of the day, if I go and I complete it and I check the block, and at least say I made the attempt, I made the try, I'll be happy. A lot of people in life, especially when they're younger, they get these dreams and they want to do things and nothing ever happens. Life happens. Have kids, they get injured, something happens, and they always look back. And I got friends and I see buddies and I see them in our 30s now, and they say, if only I would have done this. What if I would have went that route? So, maybe a late bloomer, a little late in life, but I will eventually give it a shot and a try, and I'll check the block, say I did it, had a blast time of my life. Well, who knows? I might get lucky. Someone sees the determination, the drive in my eyes, sees I want it, and they give me that shot, that chance, and I prove myself. I come in at the bottom, work my way up. So with that being said, I jotted a few things there on some index cards. Hopefully a promoter, right person can see this, and it'll help me out down the road whenever I finally do retire from the military. So going back, from as far back as I can remember, whenever I was just a little one, as I stated earlier, 2 years old and wearing diapers, Hacksaw Jim Duggan used to come out, he had his 2x4, ho! And my mom told me that I'd sit there and I had my bottle in a little diaper, just watching TV. I'd imitate him, I'd mock him, hold up my bottle. Oh, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and he'd come out just all lamped up, 2x4 in hand, and get a little older, following wrestling throughout the years. WCW was big whenever I was little, huge. And while that's going on, I remember I was a little stinger. When I say little stinger, of course we all know Sting with the dark hair, the makeup and everything, trench coat, but I was a little stinger whenever he had the blonde flat top. I still remember like it was yesterday. Blonde flat top, still wore the makeup, wearing his spandex tight pants coming out. I've been a little stinger forever. And of course, that brings me to one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. Everyone knows the man, Ric Flair. Rolex wearing, limousine riding, styling, profiling, the man. Woo! Everyone knows Ric Flair. So, me and my brothers were little, playing around, wrestling on trampoline. We'd throw out woos, maybe some chops, different things. Stuff we shouldn't have been doing as a kid, make sure mom didn't see, didn't want to get hurt. And fast forward a little bit, I'm a teenager now, I'm 14. WCW, WWF at the time, before it was WWE, we'd go through arguments, my buddies, who's who, what's what, what's the best. And I was a huge fan of WWF. Just seemed more legit, entertaining. This is when they were going on doing everything with the Shock Factor. And D-Generation X, they were out there, Stone Cold, he's pounded beers, kicking people in the guts, stunning people. And my number one favorite, from the second I see him, back when he was with Farouk, the Nation of Domination, he had kind of like a little Jericho. Should have worn my shirt. I still got this tank top when I was 17. I wear it to the gym to this day. Motivation. And The Rock, you know, the People's Champ. Of course, now he's even larger than life, huge, done movies, everything, shaved head. But I've been a fan forever. You know, fast forward, even though ECW, all these other guys are still out, these promoters, these companies, they're going around to get swallowed up and consolidate. You know, you got the one big match. It's now WWE. You know, me and my buddies, we used to argue as teenagers, oh, well, that's fake, you know. Everyone knows, you know, watch UFC. UFC was like up and coming, biggest thing whenever I was a teenager, really starting to explode and take off. And even then, you know, I said, yeah, I said, it might be fake. I said, but it's entertainment. And it's the greatest show on earth. You know, that magic I was referring to earlier, those little kids. They said they get all excited. It's real to them. And even now, whenever I remember in Afghanistan deployed, you know, I'll be in a rec room or something on some downtime in between missions, and the TV's on, and I see like John Cena or someone coming out, big show, and next thing you know, it's like, man, that's fake. That's crap. You know, at the same time, instead of saying that's fake, you know, I don't know if it's like I'm a grown man who shouldn't be watching this or something I liked when I was little. They're sitting there like, man, that's fake, and they're just watching. Their eyes are fixated. You know, they're entertained. They want to know what happens next. The story's building up. You know, it's kind of like a male soap opera in a way with a lot of testosterone. And it always tripped me out because these same guys saying it's fake, and you know it is, it's entertainment. They're the same ones that say that. At the same time, no one's changing the channel, and we got 40, 50 guys, you know, running around this room just watching. Man, this is fake. It's terrible. So when I was 19, I joined the Army, became an infantryman. I was uncommitted, and I kept on lifting, doing PT on my own. You know, so in the morning, crushing it. We hit a run, 3, 4, 5 miles, whatever, push-ups, climb the ropes, pull-ups. Lunchtime comes, I'm in the gym crushing it, or after work, you know, because when you're a private, everyone knows, very easy, no responsibility, just be in the right place, right time, right uniform. And just kept going, and I've maintained my physical fitness. I'm over there, and I got to do the Manchu Mile, which is a 25-mile ruck march with a 25-pound rucksack. And I remember thinking it was impossible, you know, and didn't know if I'd make it or not, but I stuck to it. Had a squared away team leader. My sergeant got me through it, and I remember my feet, they just seemed dead, you know, tired. We did 25 miles, pushed through that, did some good things in Korea, training up, going to the field, you know, train to fight as you train, and I hit Fort Stewart, Georgia. You know, when I'm in Fort Stewart, same thing, I'm crushing the gym, make some like-minded buddies, we're always crushing it. You know, just lifting, getting big, trying to get big. That was my goal from the time I was 14. I first touched a weight bench, and my uncle was teaching me things. And sitting there and go to OIF 3. I'm in Tikrit, Mosul, 3rd ID. And I was sitting there, same thing. I really got heavy into the gym. It was one of the few things you could do, you know, downtime on the fob. Made some buddies, and I remember I was stoked. I was excited. I made the 300-pound club. You know, first time I pressed 300 pounds, I was so excited. And then I wanted to make it look good. I wanted those 3 plates on each side, you know, 315, just make it look clean. And I go, you know, and I get my first issue of Flex magazine and start learning about bodybuilding. You know, this is 2005, 2006. So I'm learning about, you know, bodybuilding, seeing guys like Chris Cook and everyone else from Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler going at it, and I was enamored. You know, I always say the two kind of go hand in hand. If you look at wrestlers, they might not be in this shape when these guys are on stage because they have contest prep, but at the same time, they're larger than life, and they're very fit, more so than your average person that you see on the street. Did my time, some good things at Fort Stewart, you know, finished up 3 years, and Department of the Army selects me to go recruiting duty. The surge is going on, I got to go provide the strength. You know, I'm a soldier first. Not very big on admin office type work. I'm a physical hands-on guy, but got to do what I got to do. So I go to recruiting school, and I head out there. This right here is where things, I'm involved with the community, I'm a pillar. Eyes are always on me, you know, more so than just being a soldier representing the Army 24/7. And did a lot of things. I was on ESPN a few times, live national TV, doing color guard out there on the track because we're in the pit crew with Tony Schumacher. And, you know, out there doing my rifle movements and snapping, hopping and popping, looking high speed. And I did numerous radio interviews. I was on Mix 94.3. You know, recorded me doing some things. Made the local newspaper too many times to count. Got articles tucked away somewhere every time I made the paper. And I have experience with public speaking, you know, giving out awards, going to ceremonies, you name it, between television, the radio interviews, just talking to people in the paper, whether it's the Army's birthday and we're doing ceremonies, you name it. After that, I wrapped up some things, getting a lot of experience, I guess working on some weaknesses with the whole admin and the office and paperwork. And they said I'm going to Germany. Germany, great experience. I love that country, the people there. Just sitting there doing my thing, getting my squad leader time in, and I was in 3-4 infantry at the time. So 2 times we did 2 34-mile ruck marches with 34-pound rucksacks on our backs. And it's crazy because I taught people when I came here to Fort Benning, and they're like, man, that's high speed. Or, guys that are Ranger bat, and they're like, what the hell, man? I've done 25, 34, that's something. While I'm over there, I'm also competing in combatives tournaments. Got one of my medals are little trinkets, hardware goodies, whatever you want to call it, right here. I took second out of 24 in the heavyweight division, this combatives tournament in Germany. Heavyweight division, I'm still crushing it, lifting, working out, maintaining my 270 or above, 90% or more in each event for physical fitness, keep that presidential PT badge that you see guys running around post wearing. Gaining deployment muscle, In Afghanistan, I was in Germany, same thing. Everyone was like, I'm going to get big, I'm going to get jacked. Crushing it in the gym, just trying to break through, some plateaus, make some gains. And then I come to Fort Benning, where I'm currently stationed now. And while I'm here, a lot of things, I landed an easy assignment after a lot of just being on the grind and pushing and hustling and churning it out. So come here and go to airborne school, 5-jump chump. No other adrenaline like that. My first jump, just jumping out of a perfectly good plane. Now I'm crushing in the gym. I had someone refer me to a good gym here, linked up with an IFBB Pro, and learned a lot of things. And I got into bodybuilding, You can see some of my trophies here behind me. And it's crazy, man. I always make this joke, because people are always kind of breaking my balls about wrestling. I kind of already used to wearing the uniform. You see those guys come out in what looks like posing trunks and we're on stage. And I'm sitting there, I'm going out and I'm crushing it, and I'm on another level just trying to become physically the best that I can, mentally push myself. And I'm going to hit a stage in front of hundreds, thousands of people, these various shows that I went to, and have them judge me. And, I was hooked. I don't know. And I feel that all of this really ties in to wrestling. So what I'm always saying is, or what I've been taught throughout my military career, always separate yourself from your peers, and don't be afraid to fail. So some of my attributes that I feel I have, whoever sees this, taking this into consideration. If anyone ever sees it all, I don't know. Either way, I'll post it up. Maybe I'll get lucky. I understand being under contract, When I'm under contract, like I am through the military, if I get a sunburn, I'm done. I can't perform my duties. And it's the same thing. I know these guys, I can't just run out, if I'm under contract and get a tattoo. I'm getting in a lot of trouble. The sunburn, like I said, something hindering you from doing your duty. I understand about missing holidays. I've missed plenty of Thanksgivings, Christmases, you name it. My job comes first. I'm a soldier first. And I'm positive the same way with these guys that I see on TV, living life on the road. Representing your direct reflection of your employer 24/7. Last thing someone wants is you represent their company, and you're out here acting like a jackass, getting DUIs, drinking, or saying something stupid. Keep your opinions to yourself. I understand that aspect. Life on the road, like I said, I've missed a ton of holidays. I've traveled. I've lived or visited and been everywhere, from South Korea to Hinesville, Georgia, which is Fort Stewart, Florida on recruiting duty, back in my hometown of Lake City, to Germany, bomb holder, running around checking out France, different places over there, Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kuwait, Iraq, and it's funny because even in Kyrgyzstan, over the years, I've had a few experiences with pro wrestlers. I seriously don't remember me, I don't really stand out, and they constantly get hounded, guys like, hey, can I get an autograph? But 2 things on the top of my head. And if I ever see the Big Show, you might remember this. I'm 19. Right now I'm 31, so you can do the math and go back. And he was out of wrestling because he had to have surgery. His pituitary gland or whatever it was for his explosive growth and everything, it was life-threatening. So I'm in Lake City, Florida. it's late, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and I had a bunch of friends over at my house, and we're just kind of drinking beer, hanging out. And my buddy calls me, and he says, hey, man, he's at this gas station that runs along Interstate 10 there. And he says, the Big Show's at the S&S. I said, who? He said, the Big Show, the restaurant. I said, what? So I jump, and I go out back and say, hey, man, the Big Show, the S&S. All these cars pull up. My buddy was telling me, and he was in there. At the time, I didn't think about it. And I do owe him an apology. He's just hanging out. No one's bothering him. He's being a normal guy. My buddy's just thumbing through cassettes, getting a hot dog, chilling, had his Lincoln Navigator out of the gas pumps. Just had topped off, went aside. And he said he's just enjoying himself, peace and quiet. And while he's in there, my friend's uncle's like, hey, man, don't I know you? And he's, yeah, he's like, I knew it. You're the Big Show, the wrestler. And he got an autograph. And at this time, all of us poured up there. And he's coming out the doors, and my buddy, Big Mike, he's like 6'2", 6'3", big guy. I call him Big Mike for a reason. He walks by him, and he just made him look like a child. And I remember, he's going, and we're like, oh, and everyone's just kind of enamored, the Big Show. And he walks by, and he says, I'm trying to keep it low profile, brother, and goes his Navigator against him, a bunch of them, leaves. And it was either Monday Night Raw or Raw's War. One of those shows come on, and he referenced her a little bit. And late at night, I got out, and all these guys just swarmed me, and we thought that was cool. And the other thing is, whenever I was leaving Afghanistan, finishing my deployment, of course, WWE, they're everywhere doing things for troops, Iraq, traveling, going places. And it was like, oh, all deployment, making all these jokes, coming up with names and finishing moves and this and that and this. They're like, oh, hey, Sergeant Rhoden, WWE guys are here, Miss May, you need to go talk to him about a future job, ha, ha, ha. Whatever, kind of like a duck, just water off your back, have some thick skin. So I said, all right. I said, I am curious, I'm going to go. So I go down there, and I see Vince McMahon, I see Kofi Kingston, and one of the Divas. And they're all scattered, and I talked to them, and, it was cool meeting them all. They're just down to earth, and I remember I was really impressed and amazed. Vince McMahon, he's an older guy, but he's still jacked. He's solid. He's huge, man. He's fit, especially for a man of his age. Still getting it in. And I talked to him. I said, when I finish the military, I'm going to get out and I'm going to go to wrestling school. Can you tell me a good one? And I remember he just looked a little surprised, or might have caught him off guard. And I feel the answer he gave me, honestly, it was kind of just a generic or blowing me off, but at the same time I understand, because how many people see him and come up and just want to talk about wrestling? Can I get a shot? Can I be a wrestler? Just that. So I understood it. And he shook my hand. We're sitting there, and he said, any school is a good school. I was like, I've done my research and went online, learned about safety, and some are more prestigious or better than others. And, from there, one of my shows here, my trophies in the back, Vulcan Classic, 2014, NBC Vulcan Classic. I'm sitting there, and what do? Ric Flair tribute. You get 60 seconds for a routine to do whatever you want. And I have no problem people laughing at me, being a butt of a joke. And I already knew. I knew everyone was instantly going to recognize the song, the Ric Flair, and everything. And, you see me, his music starts, which is actually, for those of you who don't know, Zaruth Sprachstrasse. Can't quite remember how to pronounce it, but it's a classical type song. I come out and hit the stage, and, I do the strut. People are laughing. And in the end, after I think my poses cut off, I said, woo! And you hear everyone in the audience, woo me. You can look it up on YouTube. Wrestling, just overall, from the time I was little, even to now, it is something that I want to do in my life. It was my childhood dream. And I'm trying to do everything I can to distinguish myself and set myself above my peers. I know a lot of people that say, I want to be a wrestler. That'd be fun. Oh, that'd be great. Fame, money, whatever. I don't care about any of that. I want a rewarding job that I would love, where I stay physically fit, and just that magic, what I remember as a child, feeling and seeing and believing is real, and me and my cousins going, I want to continue that, and I want to pass it on, and just really, really love and enjoy what I'm doing like I do now, here in the military. So I'm doing everything I can to set myself apart. I'm not going to be that guy just walking the street. I'm going to finish my college degree. I'm almost done with that. I'm an actual NPC competitor, bodybuilding, everything physical. I can do in between. A lot of guys don't do. From here at combatives to me, I've been looking into triathlons, to crushing in the military, just anything and everything I can. And it's funny because since I got into bodybuilding the past 2 years, I meet a lot of guys, And only a few have asked me the same thing. They kind of just, what? Look at me or blow it off like I'm joking. But it seems like a majority of people I know, they always say, they're like, yeah, I want to go pro. I want to be in the IFBB. And that's great, awesome. A lot of people give that a shot. A lot of people try it. Not me. At the end of the day, when I'm done, and I'm 39, and I know I'll be up there in age, hopefully someone will, when I talk to and figure some things out, I know it is a business about money. Hopefully someone will just see that I have the right stuff and give me that shot. I want to be a professional wrestler. So I'm sure I'll get a lot of jokes, a lot of mocks. It's kind of never ending, but I don't care. It's not easy, like I said earlier. When you're a grown man in his 30s and people say, what do you want to do with your life? I want to be a professional wrestler. But I don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do. I'm going to keep trying to add everything I can. And when I'm 39, I'm retired, and I got that supplemental income coming in, and I got somewhere around just over 30,000, and I set myself up financially with investments I'm making now. I'm going to go all in, put all my eggs in the basket and take a shot. So hopefully down the line, at least 8 years when I retire from the military, someone will believe me and give me that shot. Thank you.